And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrestle Purist Raw Review. I'm your host, as always, Ibu of Wrestle Purist, better known to many of you guys on Twitter as Back of Damien, the app that I was once on. But I'm here again for the Wrestle Purist Raw Review, joined by Isra, the First Lady, and Rob, formerly of the Island of Relevancy. And we're here to break down last night's edition of Monday Night Raw, which was in South Carolina and had the second round of the King of the Ring tournament. And now with the second round in the books for Monday Night Raw, we now have the semifinals set. And so we'll be talking about some interesting second round matches on a very wrestling heavy episode of Monday Night Raw. Some very good matches. A specific match that was very controversial with a very controversial result that we will absolutely get into because, folks, Ilja Dragunov lost clean in the main event to main event Jey Uso. Jey Yeetman Uso will be advancing to the semifinals to face Gunther in the King of the Ring tournament. We'll get all into that, how we feel about it, our perspectives, what this means for the future, what this means for the next round of the tournament, what this means for humanity itself. But before we do that, please make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, send super chats. Give us your opinions on Jey Uso beating Ilja. What do you think? Was it the right call? Did you expect it? Was it the wrong move? Do you think Jey is going to beat Gunther? Do you think Jey is going to the finals? And is he going to win the King of the Ring? Give us your opinions and your perspectives. Give us your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. And again, like the video, comment, subscribe, and send us super chats. But before we get any further, Robert, how are you doing today?
Well, I didn't know if I was going to be doing this show today because literally as Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest were talking shit to each other, a really bad windstorm hit and knocked the power out. So I was watching Raw on my phone. So I caught bits and pieces. But on the way here this morning, doing what I had to do to pack up and go, I did watch Raw. And I didn't hate what I watched. I really enjoyed the stuff that I watched. Of course, I saw the main event live, and you already saw my thoughts on that. I told y'all on Friday that I had already made peace with the Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga final. Like, as soon as I realized what was going on here, as soon as they said Dawkins is hurt, he can't be in the tournament, I said, yeah, I know what's going on here. I know what they're about to do. So, no, not Dawkins is hurt. Lashley was hurt and Dawkins had to do it. But, yeah, I pretty much made peace with what's going on, and let's get into it.
So you think we're headed towards the Tama Tonga versus Jey Uso final? Is that what you think, Rob?
Bro, don't nobody give a fuck about. I'm not saying me because I would love to see the match, but don't nobody talking from WWE fans, hardcore, brain dead John perspective. Don't nobody give a fuck about Randy Orton versus Gunther. They want to see that.
Hold on, Rob, pause. Is a war happening in your house? Like, is there like a battle happening, or like, are people throwing hands?
Thank you for asking how I'm doing.
I did, and I wanted to get to it, but there's so much background. It sounds like people are fighting at your table. I don't know where that's coming from.
Oh, is it this?
Yes, whatever that is.
Sorry, this is my Amazon package. I just wanted to see what was in it.
It is like beating my ass. It's like punching me in the
I apologize for that. I didn't realize it.
It's fine. Continue, Robin, and then
I made peace with it, bro. They give a fuck about Bloodline more. They don't care about that other shit. So,
nigga, you don't.
I like Bloodline stuff, but
no, I'm not talking about that.
I wanted to see Gunther win.
Nigga, not Randy Orton and Gunther is big business,
bro. But you gotta understand.
That's big business.
You gotta understand, bro. Yeet.
Fuck Yeet. Fuck Jey Uso.
Yeet.
He's so bad.
Yeet.
He's so fucking bad.
Yeet.
This dude, mind you, like, his matches are getting worse by the week, by the month.
Yeet.
Can he string together a sentence with more than 4 words?
Yeet.
Isra, how are you doing?
I'm great. I wasn't aware that my microphone was this loud, so either I have to be quiet or I need to do something to fix it because my tone is naturally very loud. So, I'll figure out what to do with it. But I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. This is my 3rd week in a row. Like, this is actually a pretty good streak. You know, there have been allegations that I lost my love of the game with this podcasting shit, but this is 3 weeks in a row I'm back in it. So we're going places. So yeah, I thought Raw was all right. I can't wait to get into it a little bit more. But yeah,
That's
it's
what's up.
regular.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. I thought it was a very nice. That was a very nice show. A lot of wrestling matches. They kept kind of the talking to a minimum. A lot of video packages,
Oh
sports
my
style video
fucking
packages from
god,
King of the Ring.
bro.
What happened?
Oh my fucking god.
What happened? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
No, no.
Oh no.
Guys, chat, please.
Oh
Guys.
no.
Guys,
You know
chat,
what,
please.
bro? You know what, bro? Hey yo, if you're listening to this, you have an open invitation when we talk about the match to get to fucking pop up here because I do need to take my anger out on somebody. I'm gonna yell at somebody about this Jey Uso shit because it's so bad.
Bro, but like I don't have the energy to yell at it, bro, because I'm just like, bro. People saw the performance that he had last night, and they're still just like, so yeet, and I'm just like, okay, but like, don't y'all miss when Jey Uso used to do the little punches, like the people's punches, and then he did his own little like Rocky Johnson Soul Man thing? Don't y'all miss when he does that? Does he even do that anymore?
I miss when he cut human being
When was
promos.
the last time Jey Uso took the yeet? They turned y'all mans into a yeet slave. When
He's
was
a
the
yeet
last
slave.
time Jey Uso took the yeet shirt off?
Bro, he used to cut human promos. He used to have actually good matches. As recently as like December, he had a match with Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship that was excellent. Like maybe the
Well,
best.
because it was Seth.
Remember when Jey Uso had actual gear and not stuff like street clothes that said yeet all over it?
Here's my thing. It just consumed an act that didn't need it. Like that type of cheap gimmickry and catchphrase stuff is what like mid-carders get to be over because they don't have anything else to make them over. Jey Uso was already a put together package, and I think it's completely consumed him, and it's just so excessive. There's so many talented people on Raw, and the fact that he's positioned as the top babyface is really just like it's at a detriment of the show. I look at Sami Zayn and I'm like, man, like he has to be like behind Jey Uso on the depth chart, which is unbelievable. And yeah, Jay's win here comes at the expense of us seeing Ilja Dragunov versus Gunther. And I've seen some people already kind of cope and say like, oh well, they shouldn't have done that on TV anyway. You could have done it on TV and then just did a follow-up after that. It's not the end of the world.
Not even just that. Remember when Jey Uso used to have backstage conversations with people and they would just be actual conversations?
Yeah, now he talks about
Ibu, try to start a conversation with me. Just try it.
A real one?
Yeah, like a real conversation.
Okay, what's going on, man?
Yeet.
You ready for your match tonight?
Yeet.
All right, like that's what he does,
bro. He doesn't say beat down anymore. It's yeet down.
He says yeet down. It's brutal. It's fucking brutal. It's not good content. I don't enjoy it. But again, to be legitimately serious here and sincere for anyone who gets like defensive about this, my issue is just that we've seen better from Jey Uso, and so this very simplified, dumbed down version of him, go fuck yourself, Chris. Like genuinely, go fuck yourself. Like literally, take your cock and fuck yourself.
What?
Like, just
what the fuck?
Yes, just take it and just insert it into your own body. Like that's what you should do. Folks, give us your super chat opinions on last night's Raw. A Raw that, like I said, had a lot of good wrestling, some interesting directions, and one direction that really infuriated me. I'm not super mad about not getting Dragunov Gunther immediately. However, what I'm more worried about is the potential terroristic booking decision, Rob, of Gunther losing in the semifinals to Jey Uso. Because
listen, bro, I'm like the monkey in that video with the lions, bro. It's over.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Rob, this is what we'll do. Because I have to hop out for 1 second and hop back in.
Yo, what's up?
So let's see what we can kill time with. Rob, why don't you react to the free comments in the live chat? I'll be back in 20 seconds. Pick out the most amusing one and speak for a little bit.
Let's take some comments. Let's take some live calls. Not actual live calls, because I would
Live
never.
calls would be fun.
I would never. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's kind of crazy. I thought it was touching. Kale said Jay is worse than Osprey and thinks Osprey is the no. Well, Osprey good. I don't care. It's kind of funny how people saying Ilja Gunther shouldn't happen on TV when we had Gable Gunther 3 times on Raw and people still wanted it on Mania. Also, Sami Gunther happened on Raw last year as well.
Bro, mind you, Rob. They just did Sheamus Gunther on TV. You can do Ilja Gunther on TV and then have that build the subsequent matches that you then do on pay-per-view. You know, and here's the thing: they've had stories in NXT and NXT UK. The TV, their Raw match could have been the start of the main roster version of this saga. You know, to me it's a lame excuse.
That whole no nobody watch NXT UK. Okay, and then so they did it a year later in Florida. Florida, in front of the entire world, where the entire world was talking about
on the final Black and Gold NXT pay-per-view. Anyways, let's get into some super chats so we can start Monday Night Raw. Let's talk to people.
Gron 200 rupees. Jey Uso is over. Dude gets the biggest reaction on the show. That's wrestling. Ilja can't pop. Ilja ain't got a pop like that ever in his life. He will go on to kill it regardless. Cage match in the mud.
So here's my thing, right? I'm not gonna be one of those
about him being over. Who cares? Who cares?
But here's my thing about it, Rob. Here's my thing about it. I am not I'm not acting like this ruined Ilja Dragunov. I'm not even saying that. I'm not saying Ilja's ruined or this is gonna affect his career. My big issue with this is, number one, I don't enjoy these matches. That's the easiest and simplest one, right? I don't enjoy these matches. But number two, I don't enjoy the matches. I don't think Jey Uso needs King of the Ring. And the biggest thing is that I'm afraid he's going to beat Gunther, which he really should not do. So yeah, I'm aware that he's over. I get it. People love saying fucking yeet. But that's the other thing about it. I'm a grown man, right? I'm a grown-ass man. And like, what am I supposed to do at home with this? Like, I get it. When you're live in the crowd, you want to participate. You want to put your hands up and down, wave them like you don't care, and put the lights up and shit. What am I supposed to do in my house?
Bro. Fuck The Rock. Fuck John Cena. Fuck all these other niggas. Bro, the most over nigga there has ever been in the WWE in WWE history is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, not more over than Hogan, probably, but Steve Austin. Imagine if Steve Austin was walking out, right, when he started doing the what stuff. Imagine if every time he threw a punch, he was waiting for the crowd to say what. Imagine if every time he went for a gut kick, he waited for somebody to say what. Imagine if he did a Thez press and every time he punched, he said what. That's how bad this has gotten. And that's not even like, they still do the what chants during promos, but it's like, bro, it gets to a point where if your wrestling is insufferable, if it's making your wrestling insufferable, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and again, for me, it's just, it's like he can do this away from like some of the things that matter. Like okay, Austin Truth, right? I think they fucking suck. R-Truth and Miz, right? But have you noticed, guys, lately they've kept them to just quick backstage segments and things like that. So it's like they're not terrifying me anymore. You know what I mean? They're not terrorizing my show. I don't know. I just don't need Jey Uso in the main event slot doing this routine, and it's coming at the expense of great wrestlers. So of course I'm not going to be a fan of it. So I'm going to Chonko.
Down to Chonko 35 Czar. I think this Braun Pierce story leads to Braun being thrown into the very deep end via IC title shot, or he attacks Pierce. King of the Ring has been a very good story vehicle.
People like to do the whole like wrestling versus storytelling conversation, and it's always very black and white and like simplified. But the truth is, good wrestling can tell stories. And in this King of the Ring tournament, I was talking about it with Isra yesterday when it came to the women's package before the EO match. But they're like, the strategies going into the match can be the story sometimes. And sometimes the things that happen within the match can also lead to storytelling. Bianca Belair, she tweaked her knee facing Candice LeRae, and she shook it off because she's like a superwoman. But that's going to come into play in round 2 when she faces Tiffany Stratton. for example. Kofi Kingston, his motivation for entering this tournament is that he wants to avenge his friend Xavier Woods, who couldn't live his dream of being a 2-time King of the Ring because he got injured by Gunther. So Kofi enters to then try to get revenge. These are all stories. The wrestling storytelling doesn't have to be like, oh, you had an affair with my wife, I hate you now, let's have a wrestling match. Like that, like it doesn't have to be this, you know what I mean? These are athletes that get paid to wrestle and win matches,
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that part of your super chat. Regarding Braun Breaker, I don't know what's gonna happen there, but I'd like to see him get going soon.
Alrighty. Sorry, y'all. Karthik, 100 rupees. Jay Discourse is ludicrous. Any booker is going to give the over babyface the win. The arena was entirely behind Jay. Build Gunther Ilya for later. I don't even dislike the fact that he beat Ilya. Where was the effort? Where was it was kind of like he hit Ilya with one spear and
It
one
was nasty.
splash.
Yo,
but
it was clean
Ilya has won championships with the H bomb, and he got the kick out of the H bomb.
Bro, I almost maybe because in wrestling I'm expecting kickouts. When he didn't kick out of the splash, I was like, that is crazy.
So he did at least kick out of the spear.
What's up, Isra?
The concern is, from what I'm getting, is not just that Ilya lost, but it's the fact that everyone wanted to see Ilya versus Gunther, which I agree. I wanted that match. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't you also say that the fact that Ilya lost and, it's potentially being saved for later, that will create more buildup? Because we did mention last week how Raw kind of seems like it's just like a wrestling dance show, like it's a real wrestling show now. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of feels like, some matches can have a pay-per-view type of quality, but I feel like Gunther and Ilya should be an actual pay-per-view match. I feel like it's not a bad thing that they're kind of teasing it and they want to save it for later. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have the same visceral reaction to Jay winning as you guys did.
You know what it was? So that's the thing. A lot of the people are mad because they're not getting that match next week. I'm mad personally because my body is starting to sense that Jay's going to beat Gunther, which is much, 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 much worse. I don't mind them saving Ilya Gunther. They're clearly going to do it. They did the face-off 2 times on the show. So that's Triple H's way of going hey, guys, we're going to do it. That's all right? Even though, low-key, I'm getting a little tired of Triple H having to put everything off to far. Everything with him has to be a slow burn. Can we just get to certain things? But nevertheless, I get what you're saying. I don't even disagree. My actual annoyance is that I have this bad feeling that Jay's beating Gunther, and if that happens,
I just don't see that happening. Because did you hear? Oh my God, what's his name? Pat McAfee on commentary talking about King General or whatever it was that he said. I mean, I agree. King General. He's very overstimulating for me. But I feel like low key the branding for Gunther being King of the Ring is just very fitting. I just don't see Jay having a king role. And I also can see Jay putting Gunther over. I don't know. The way I see it is the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring is made for Gunther and Io.
I agree. I just don't see it fitting anyone else. I hope that's the direction we go in because
what I could see happening is I could see the bloodline having something to do with Jey Uso losing, and then Jey Uso having something to do with Tama Tonga losing. But at the
Drew
same time,
McIntyre needs to understand the assignment. This nigga was talking all this shit about Jay in the opener. Nigga, where were you in the main event to screw this man? What the fuck is wrong with you?
What he could do is he could take a payoff from the bloodline.
I don't give a fuck how you get to it. Get the job done next week, brother. I need Gunther to win that match. I don't give a fuck how it happens, bro. I don't give a damn how it happens.
Ibu calling bounties on air.
Yes.
Another 100 rupees from Karthik. Heel Gable is clicking for me between the IC division, King of the Ring subplots in the Drew universe, and the new bloodline telling their stories. Their storytelling has clicked since Mania.
So what's funny? I don't know how you feel about it, Rob, but I thought so after the Sami versus Chad Gable episode in Montreal, because that Raw was really good. we had like 3 or 4 straight main roster shows that I thought were like pretty bad, like around like surrounding the draft, right? When they're trying to get their pieces in order. I think that, in my opinion, from the France SmackDown onward, the TV has been pretty good because they have their pieces in the places that they want them to be in, and now they can start going in a cleaner direction without having to worry about WrestleMania fallout. So I will say, like, I do think the TV has been quite good since Backlash. Like SmackDown last week was good, this Raw was good. So
all you, and I need to talk to all you fucking people that sat there and cried and whined and bitched and moaned when the SmackDown roster was finalized. SmackDown's gonna be a bitch. SmackDown's gonna be bad. Just like y'all do every fucking draft. And look what happened.
yeah, look, SmackDown's 2 hours. You don't need like 90,000 wrestlers.
That's, bro, you don't need all the crazy wrestlers on SmackDown.
Right.
Yeah, SmackDown's the Telenova show.
The Telenova show. Maybe so.
Paul, you said you haven't spoken to Roman, right? Well, I have. I'm like, bro, why are you talking like that? Why are you talking like that?
Yeah.
Chriso Bread donated $1. Thank you, Chriso. Black Yakuzu 94. No, I don't. $5. Rob owes Seth an apology. He carried Jay's ass to a great match back in January and had everyone think he was actually a good wrestler. No. Jey Uso was an actually decent wrestler back then who actually wrestled and wasn't a catchphrase machine and wasn't a robot. So like that's the difference. If they did a match now, I could
it'd be worse.
Seth would have to carry because Jey Uso doesn't know how to wrestle anymore apparently. But back then, fuck no. What? No.
Yeah, that title match in last year was really good, but the decline that this guy Jey Uso has undergone in the last like 4 months is like so steep. It is so steep.
Murph from a dumb guy live 199. It's
yourself.
just me, Oos. Yo, day one is just me. Yeet. Yo, for anyone who doesn't, this is Murph's favorite bit in WWE right now.
He loves Jey Uso.
This is his favorite bit.
He absolutely loves.
He's not he will tell you he's not a WWE fan, but what does he say, Ibu?
He goes like, I care about the aura in WWE, which is why he likes Jey Uso and LA Knight.
That's fair.
I'm a fan of the aura.
Yeah. He said, I don't care about the matches in WWE. I just care about Jey and Knight, man. And he likes Logan Paul also.
Real.
Elite Merchant, $2. Guerrilla Tactics versus Yeet. Does that sound fire to y'all? Yo, I will say
it does.
When that tag team match happens, they need to come out to Guerrilla Tactics. I don't care. Japan doesn't even own it. They own it.
Tongaloa and Tamatonga, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Jay Stone, $4.99. Honestly, can't wait for Io to go solo. Her babyface run is going to be fire.
And
you want to take this moment to talk about Io Sky?
Yes, Io Sky is really hurt. It's just like every week when I watch her, I swear I talked about this last week, how I felt like the crowd like don't do her justice. I'm gonna slightly take that back because I could tell that the audience wanted to go crazy for her and that the audience loves her, but because she's a heel and because she's working with Damage Control, that there's this kind of like, I don't know, reluctance. I don't know how to. Y'all know I'm not like the best with. But yeah, I just think I completely agree with this take. I can't wait for Io to go solo. I can't wait for her babyface run because I just know that that's just gonna push her to a whole other level.
Yeah. It's crazy because she's in the heel group, but her style is so exciting. It's so dynamic. She's so clearly the best wrestler on Raw, and it's like, how am I supposed to boo this excellence? Like, this is excellence right before my eyes, and
Quite
so.
literally.
Like, I'm watching it and I forgot like Shayna's like the good, like I think Shayna's a baby face, but I'm watching the match. I'm like, oh yeah, Shayna's like the heel and Io Shirai is the good guy, and it just makes for an interesting dynamic. But yeah, I love Io. Rob, exactly what I predicted is coming into fruition. I knew that on Raw she'd have the time and space to have matches that get actual proper time, and that this would unlock her. And look at what we're getting. Like, this is This is like vibes of like the 1, 2, 3 kids matches on Raw. It's just they're just so fun. They're so dynamic. I'm in love with Io's Raw run so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's been doing a really good job, especially last week with Natty, and this week
With Shayna
Baszler. Because we've been saying for a while now that Shayna Baszler's not. I mean, Shayna Baszler's matches are really short nowadays. She just goes out there. There's a couple like she had a match against that Carmen Petrovich girl last Tuesday. She just went out there, did a couple kicks, did a couple holds, and put her in a chokehold in like 4 minutes and kept her pushing. And so it was really nice to see her in a space that she actually got to wrestle, kind of bring some of that what we saw in NXT back. So if Io can keep getting this out of people, then I don't mind her wrestling 10 plus minutes every Monday.
She should wrestle 10 plus minutes every week. You know what I noticed, Rob, yesterday? I commented on this last week. After getting rid of certain people in the draft, Rob, after getting rid of certain people, the actual level of wrestling from the women's division on Raw has gone up dramatically. Have you noticed this, sir?
Which people?
Oh my God.
Certain
I can't ask questions. I like
just certain individuals.
What the?
Certain individuals. We don't gotta be, we don't gotta be professional about it,
There's always gonna be because Rob is just sassy as hell. Like there's always gonna be a woman that's gonna get under his skin. Before it was y'all don't want to say it. Before it was Indy. Now it's Zoe. There's always gonna be a woman that leans LGBT that Rob is not with. Like I'm just noticing a pattern.
Hey man,
y'all know that stereotype that like, men don't like lesbians.
Y'all do y'all thing, but no, I can't say that second part. Y'all do y'all thing.
Hey man,
but no, man, bro. It's not even like on purpose, bro. Have you seen? No. I told somebody I wasn't gonna slander Indy Hartwell anymore, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
This nigga made a blood oath with Peach. I'm crying.
You're so mad. You're so mad. Yo, what you think about what you think about Seth versus Shinsuke, bro?
It was terrible. It was fucking Shinsuke Nakamura is one of the worst wrestlers.
No. Who's what you thought about
Rob, you're trying to get...
what do you think about Seth and compared to Dwayne The Rock Johnson, girl?
What?
I'm just asking you a question, bro. I'm just asking because we've had these conversations. I'm just asking you a question. Like,
I like The Rock more than Seth. I don't know what you want.
Y'all are so jobless.
He's jobless. It's not even me.
You're so mad. You're so angry and mad and just frustrated, perturbed and disturbed. It's really sad. It's really sad.
Go to the next.
Get that checked out. Will Chisholm, $5. This whole Yeet stuff started when I can't lie, I read that crazy. When he was drunk with Cody on the media scrum. Bro, yeah, blame Cody Rhodes. That's your guy. But also, speaking of blaming Cody Rhodes.
Hold on, no, don't go there yet. Will, we gotta talk about the spelling in your super chats.
Yeah, bro. I was I read this whole.
What is going on, bro?
I read that. I said,
Will, what?
Because what holding stuff like.
What? Will, what's going on?
I was like,
yo, Will, come on, bro. Will, come on, bro.
No, but let's Ibu, can you explain to me why Cody can't seem to get more than 2.1 million people to watch SmackDown?
Well, Robert, SmackDown is going head to head with the NBA playoffs and the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are one of the most popular franchises in all of sports. So that is the exact official reason for this.
I thought you might say that, which is interesting. Because don't baseball be running on Fridays and during the summer?
Nobody give a fuck about baseball. Nobody give a what are you talking about?
Get
a job.
You're so no. So it's get a job when Roman and them were going up against fucking baseball and shit, right? It's get a job when they were doing 3 million, but it's totally fine when Cody Rhodes is a bad, this nigga last year, Cody Rhodes had a bad number. They went up against the minor league baseball players. So like, come on, guys, like who gives like niggas give a fuck about minor league baseball? So I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it.
This never happened.
I'm tired of the excuses.
This never happened. It's for Rob's being sassy again.
I'm tired of all you Cody fans do. All you Cody fans do is make excuses.
And fuck the Knicks too.
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the Knicks playoffs.
Make excuses.
Can we get to the next super chat?
Y'all not tapped in. We're gonna be back. We're gonna be back after SummerSlam. Don't worry, y'all. Some Gun to Chongo, 35 Czar. If Dom is cheating on Rhea with Liv, what's the line between Great Heat and a Total Divas storyline? How far?
What's wrong with the Total Divas storyline? I'm sorry not to cut you off. What's wrong with the Total Divas storyline? Total Divas is one of the best reality shows in like history.
Yo, you know what's funny about that?
Total Divas had housewives in America being like, "Oh, what's going on with WWE?" Total Divas gave us Bianca Belair. What's wrong with Total Divas storylines? Y'all just weren't there.
Y'all not fucking with house rules.
I'll tell you what. I used to shit on the show without watching it. Then one day I just happened to have it on, and I was like, "Yo, this is low key compelling. This shit is bad compelling."
No, it was real TV. Like TV died when Total Divas ended. I swear.
Maybe so.
But to answer, wait,
let's answer some Ganda's question. Yeah. We didn't answer his question.
We didn't answer his question.
Come on.
Go back. Hold on.
He basically said, "What's the line between Heat and like a Total Diva storyline?" And I'm not sure. I mean, the line is actually like, if like Liv is like, "I slept with Dom," and it's like dun dun dun. You know?
Okay, like, oh no, you know what the line is?
What's up?
If she's just like, "Yeah, I took your fucking boyfriend," right? Which that's fine and acceptable. But like going to the extent of like what they tried to do with her and Rusev and Rusev and Bobby, where we were like, no, bro, that was crazy. That wasn't serious. They didn't even do it right. They were just like there was no like build up to it. They were just like Liz Morgan just came back and was like, "Yeah, me and Lana had a relationship, by the way." After never communicating on screen, not once ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it be though, like. When coworkers, I have never done anything like this, but it's usually the ones that act like they don't know each other. But
that be
I think in terms
shit?
of the Dom storyline, circling it back, I do kind of like the whole promiscuous, like low-key thing that Liv has going on. I don't know how to explain it, but it's.
Did you see her face when Becky punched her?
Oh, that was rough.
No, but she put on this like seductive facial expression, like when she got punched.
Yeah, and like when she had her hardcore gimmick, like being in pain, was like low key, she was getting turned on. I was like, you know what, this is different. Like, I don't know, it moves me.
We'll see where it goes. What if Jacob Fatu cost Jey against Tom at King of the Ring? I love Jacob Fatu. I can't wait to see him. I'd just rather that not be the King of the Ring final.
Yes, I would.
Point blank, period.
Much rather that just not be what we do with Jacob Fatu. I just don't see that happening. I would much rather go, but I've come to terms with it, bro. It is what it is. And once you've come to accept something, bro, it's gonna happen. So, Will Chisholm, $5. So Michael Cole had to get in his stardom bag in the EO match.
Yo, Will.
Step into my office, bro.
It's okay.
Yo, Will, join a space one day, bro. I'm gonna get Will a mic.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned Michael Cole being in his stardom, because while I was watching it, so I don't live tweet no more. I don't like being on Twitter these days. But I was talking to my friend Ibu, and I kind of said that the Queen of the Ring gimmick should just be a Joshi thing.
Well, like you were saying, it feels like a Joshi concept.
It feels like a Joshi concept. Like I feel like it should just be the Joshis going crazy, and like, you know, you can mix in the Western girls, but I feel like they have enough Joshis to, because I didn't like really like process this before, but like Queen of the Ring just very much gives me stardom
You know
Like,
you know why you get those vibes, Is because tournaments are like a mass, like the lifeblood of Japanese wrestling. Like almost every major Japanese wrestling promotion, they have their schedule, like their yearly calendar, has a
mhm.
major tournament that centers the whole thing. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
especially
know
in
they have a
Joshi.
lot of things centered around like queendom. If that makes
Well,
sense.
in Stardom,
I know.
in Stardom, yeah. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, but Michael Cole needs to stop doing this because
He's faking it.
they need to get somebody else. Like when Mauro Ranallo used to do it, it was fire because at least you knew Mauro knew what he was talking about. Michael
That's so
Cole's in this
real.
motherfucker talking. He could be talking about random Joshi that worked for that.
He said, correct me if I'm wrong. Michael Cole said Shayna and Io wrestled for the World of Stardom Championship in
He could
2017.
see fucking all three of Damage Control without fucking Dakota standing there and be like, yeah, all of them were in the triple tails. And he was like, no, Cole, it was Io, Mio, and Oscar, bro. It wasn't like
Bro,
he tries too hard.
bro, that nigga be
Comes off
Googling while he's
bad.
on there. He be Googling on there.
Oh, what a Michinoku driver, and it's a military press slam. Like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about.
He really does kind of sound like he's just reading off of the first thing he sees on Wikipedia.
Yes.
Shinto
Talks
Takagi,
about.
by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, yo, Israel, have you heard of Shinto Takagi? No, I've never.
Yeah.
It's not a real person.
Yeah, I'm a
That's because he's bro. Michael
What do you
Cole was
mean?
like Shinto. It's like, all right, bro.
And I knew somebody fucking texted it because whenever I type in Shingo, it auto corrects it to Shinto. You just lie. Stop lying.
Yo, he was talking about Shingo.
Yeah, fucking liar.
Michael Cole,
Black
bro.
Yakuza
At least like do
94.
your Googling before Raw and like fact check.
Yes. You disgusting. And Black Yakuza 94, $10. Yo, Bloodline fans are calling out Cody fans for Jey beating Ilya last night. It was so funny. Do you know how badly you have to hate someone to slander them in the match they weren't involved in?
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. Thank you, Black Yakuza, for the $10.
All right, and that is the last super chats right now. And of course, it is time to talk about Monday Night Raw.
Cool. I'll go do this fast. Drew McIntyre opened the show. We got a bunch of cold open shots of like Ilya coming in. We saw Jey walking in with his black son. Drew McIntyre was walking in, and we got a continuous shot straight to the ring. And basically, Drew just kind of shat on CM Punk. He did the whole deal of like Punk being a hypocrite. He said that Punk fooled people because he says he's straight edge, but he looks like a drug addict. He was just kind of burying his whole life in existence. He called Punk stupid. He said if you're a fan of CM Punk, you're stupid. You are stupid if you're a CM Punk.
He was talking directly to you.
It was unfortunate. I don't know why he's looking at me. Like, I don't know. But yeah, he's just shitting on Punk, shitting on his whole existence and stuff. But he did say, like, I'm not worried about when Punk's going to get cleared because that might be 20 fucking years. And then he went on to basically say, that he's going to focus his efforts on the World Heavyweight Championship. And he said that he's going to focus on that because that's his title that he never lost and this and that. And he's kind of complaining about how that whole thing went down and how Jey Uso was like a coward who stole this spot in the King of the Ring tournament. And he didn't even have a spot in it. He called Damian Priest a paper champion. So Damian Priest came out and Priest said, let's do something different. How about you talk shit to somebody to their face? And Drew was like, I would, but CM Punk's not fucking here. So they're going back and forth. Damian Priest is kind of like a tweener at this point. And, what this all boils down to, because they're going back and forth, and Drew is saying, like, listen, man, I respect your story. I think you worked your ass off to get to this point. I'm happy for you. But he just said, like, you just don't deserve to be champion. He said, I have a neighbor, Dave. He's a great guy. He shouldn't be a champion. He basically said that belt's a new belt, and it needs someone to give it prestige. You need someone to make the title, and he said that person is him. So they went back and forth, and Priest basically said, listen, when you're ready and when you're cleared, we can do this. And so we left with an agreement for Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre when Drew McIntyre is cleared. And that was the opening segment. What did you think of the opening segment and interaction between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre?
Honestly, I'm very grateful and blessed and thankful that CM Punk was not there to kill the vibe. Because between them two, I actually thought it was a pretty solid promo. Like, Drew was talking his shit, uninterrupted by that meth head. And when Priest came out, first of all, I was very taken aback by his music. Real quick, why is that his music? That shit is horrible. Triple H changed that. But once I kind of processed and digested his horrible theme song, which they should change, his promo was pretty good. I thought, him calling out Drew face to face and kind of like telling him about himself was great because, Drew was like known to be the shit talker at this point in his career. So, Damien definitely held his own. And it was a really good exchange. Again, thankful there was no Punk, no other nonsense, because I would say it was a pretty solid exchange between them two. And I disagree with the point that Drew had made about the title being fresh and needing prestige. The title had already gained its prestige when the very first World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk, had blessed it and created the prestige. You two would not be fighting for it. Or
you mean Seth Rollins?
It would not be centered around Punk or any other main eventer.
Wait, Israel, you messed up. You mean Seth Rollins?
You said CM Punk blessed the belt.
I was like,
what
the
fuck
God. Is he talking about?
That's a wild.
It's a Freudian slip. She knows what's up.
Turned your back on us.
She knows what's up.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Back on the Punk anti-Punk side.
Nah, continue. We just pointed out that you inadvertently put over my guy.
Okay, so when Seth Rollins, someone said it's a Freudian slip. How would it be a Freudian slip? He was not champion. And I'm never gonna fucking live this down.
I'm gonna clip it.
Oh no!
I'm gonna clip it. Rob's gonna fuck up later too.
What?
You're gonna fuck up later and put him over. What?
You're gonna clip it and put it where? You're gonna clip it and put it where?
Because I don't like Punk, but on air when he does something like decent, right, and I have to objectively acknowledge that it was decent. I can't just lie. Then I'll be like, yeah, it was cool what he did, or whatever.
Yes, you do. So you were a fan of the direction, Isra?
Yes.
Awesome.
No,
Rob, what did you think?
I mean, wait.
I'm not tricking you, I promise. You don't have to. You're like having guard up now and shit. Rob, what did you think of the opening segment?
I hate it here. Yo, you know how earlier I'm like, oh, this is the third week in a row that I cannot show my face back on here, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Seth Rollins, I'm so sorry. I'm representing you right now. You are on my titty. I apologize.
Someone in the chat said,
honestly,
someone in the chat said Ebu's collecting blackmail.
I do not like Pepsi. I'm boycotting all Pepsi products, all Coca-Cola products, all L'Oreal products, a bunch of different large companies that are Zionists. So fuck Pepsi and fuck the Pepsi man. Don't try to. No, we're not doing that. And I'm not straight edge either. I swear to God, I will go smoke crack like right now.
She hates Punk so much. She'll do hard drugs to fight her.
I will literally smoke crack live on stream before I ever support CM Punk.
Someone said Eve was getting it on.
CM Punk had one chance, literally, in his life to get me to support him. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I could tell the chat what the opportunity was, but he blew it. So I can never support him in my life, and I got something for that ass. You just wait and see.
Something for that ass.
Seth freaking Rollins, the GOAT, brought prestige to the World Heavyweight Championship, a championship that CM Punk will never touch. A championship that Drew McIntyre thought he could bring prestige to, but he touched it for quite literally 2 seconds. They're telling me I'm crashing out. I have to.
You are crashing out.
No.
You are crashing out. Someone said unhinged rant. Yo, she put over Phil and started malfunctioning. Bro.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Someone's like, she's losing it, like how Drew has been. That's what CM Punk will do to a sane person. You know, you have morals, you have things that you stand on, and then when CM Punk gets in your face, it just brings something out of you. I could never support that. And that's just that. I'm sick to I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. I'll be right back.
Rob, what did you think of the opening segment?
You know what I thought? I was just like, yo, this is an interesting build to what they got going on here.
You think it's Clash the Castle?
I think it's Clash the Castle.
Okay.
And for the simple fact, you know what I think actually happens? I think CM Punk comes to Clash in the Castle. I think he tries to stop Drew from winning. And you know who I think stops CM Punk from stopping Drew McIntyre from winning, and they help Drew McIntyre win? I think this is where the Judgment Day turns on Damian Priest. Because Damian Priest has been basically talking down to the Judgment Day members recently. Now, he was talking down to them earlier when we started doing the review, but like lately he's been like, yo, the fuck are you niggas been doing for me lately? But then he'll be like, yo, my fault, guys. It was my bad. I'll take the blame and responsibility. Remember, before he wasn't taking responsibility for you. He's just like, yo, you fucking suck. Get better.
Well, what's happening is he's distancing himself from them, you know. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I
don't know about Damian Priest as a babyface. I don't know if that's where they're gonna exactly land on it, but I wouldn't mind him as like a rogue kind of like lone guy, and he's
gonna be rogue and lone for a while because remember, you know, I don't think he does that. I think he does what he was doing in NXT.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he goes back to that gimmick per se. But I think he goes back to kind of that style of what he was doing.
I could see it.
Gimmick wise.
After this opening segment, Rob, they did a really cool video package recapping the first round matchups with narration, and it was explaining like the high flying attack of Io Sky was able to beat Natalia's ground based game. It was really cool. It was very sports like. Yeah. And they gave you highlights of Shayna Baszler's win at the house show because she won her first round matchup against Maxine Dupree, who replaced Zelina Vega, who was not medically cleared to wrestle. So Maxine Dupree got the spot instead of Zelina, and she got destroyed by Shayna Baszler. And this led to our opening match. The opening match of Monday Night Raw was Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler in the second round of the Queen of the Ring tournament. And this went about 10 minutes and 43 seconds. Really, really good. Another really good showcase for Io Sky. This is her second match since getting drafted to Monday Night Raw. Another one where the crowd started to take to her and gravitate towards her. Another match where, like we were saying earlier, like they just kind of like really got into her offense, and she got to do all her cool things like the missile dropkick and so on and so forth. Michael Cole made the note that I mentioned earlier that these two wrestled for the World of Stardom Championship in 2017. And I'll confess right now, I did not know Shayna Baszler wrestled in Stardom. I had no clue. I don't know why. I just did not know. So
I've seen it on her Wikipedia, and I've seen some clips when she was doing Shimmer stuff.
Yeah, I had no idea. So that was an interesting tidbit. I thought Michael Cole was making it up, and then no, he didn't make it up. It was a real thing. So that was cool to hear about. Shayna did some cool submission stuff here. She was working Io Sky's arm. She was wrapping it around, like she put her like some type of arm bar and had her hanging from the ropes. She had it like she opened the ring skirt. She took the ring skirt off and was like putting her arm in between like the loop-de-loops. So she's doing a lot of kind of nifty stuff like that. The crowd briefly chanted, "We want tables" for some reason in a singles wrestling match.
Yo, I love the Dudleys, but
yeah, it's insane. But overall, this is just really good. The coolest part here came, Rob, when Io went for her moonsault. Shayna put her feet up, and then she grabbed her legs, Shayna's legs. Io grabbed Shayna's legs, and she turned it into God, I believe like we transitioned right into a Mahi straw cradle, which then turned into a bridging pin. It kind of reminded me of the Azumi sushi roll, but she did this, and then Shayna immediately turned it into a Kirifuda clutch, and then Io got out of that. So a lot of cool, there's a lot of good kicks and running knees and things like that, things of that nature. Ultimately, Io Sky got the win here, 10 minutes, 43 seconds with a moonsault. What did you think of this match, Rob?
I really enjoyed this. I watched this earlier this morning. I enjoyed the work that Io Sky makes the other woman that she's in the ring do. And what I mean is like everybody, because she makes her matches feel important, and like it makes you feel like, yo, I have to watch Io Sky now because I don't know what she's gonna do next. It's like 1 minute she's doing missile drop kicks, the other minute she's doing like she's doing technical shit, and in another minute she's doing German suplexes. It's like she's a master at every. Plus she knows lucha, so she's a master at every single basically bit of offense that comes in the wrestling business, and that's why her matches are so awesome. And I like that Shayna finally turned it up in a big match situation like this. And I'm interested to see what Shayna Baszler can do next. If she can get her as far away from Zoe Stark as possible and start doing stuff with
You gotta
that.
leave Zoe alone, man. You gotta leave Zoe alone.
But yeah, she was doing her thing. So
Io has a lot of physical charisma, and we saw it on display after the match because Jackie Redmond comes into the ring and has a microphone and interviews Io Sky. Io cuts her promo in complete Japanese with no subtitles. And guess what? Did the audience act confused? Did they act like deer in headlights? No, they're like awesome. They peeped the vibe and they knew whatever she was saying was declarative and triumphant, and they just cheered for her. And it's so funny because for so many years, especially under Vince McMahon, there was this almost mindset that like if you don't speak English, there's a ceiling on you. But I think if you're really, really great at what you do, if you're really elite and you have charisma, that's going to translate no matter where you wrestle. And we see it with the luchadors sometimes, some of the best luchadors, and we saw it with Io here, where she's out there and she just wrestles like a star and carries herself like a star and acts like a star. And guess what? The fans started to react to Io Sky as a star, and that's why they cheered for her promo that they had no clue what the fuck she was talking about. So, are you calm after your cigarette break?
Yeah, I'm straight.
Were you in fetal position?
They don't know. I'm taking this crack bit seriously.
you just did some crack. Is that what's going on?
So Io Sky.
Yeah. We just finished talking. Just give us your quick broad thoughts on Io's performance on Raw, the promo, the match, everything.
I mean, all of it was phenomenal. I did catch what you were saying about foreign wrestlers and not choosing not to speak English.
Right.
And I respect that she does that. I think that can still be a part of her identity, and she obviously is still going over even as a heel. Mm-hmm. Her and Shayna have a lot of great chemistry. Like this kind of took me back to their NXT days. I wasn't personally there for whatever they had going on in Stardom, but I did enjoy their work in NXT. It felt like a throwback. And Io Sky is just the type of wrestler. She brings the best out of every single person, and she's a superstar. So, that crown is hers, 100%. And that was just a great match. And I love Shayna. I think, me saying that Io brings the best out of people, that's not taking anything away from Shayna. She's incredible too, and I want to see more from her as well. So all in all, it was really solid. And I do appreciate that Raw is also becoming very dense with women's matches. And it just being a work rate quality too.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's also good women's matches because it's for you weren't watching as much, but before the draft, they would try to get the women's tag division off the ground, but they do it a lot with Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven and some of these people, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, and God bless them, it just didn't click. It never really clicked. The women's mid card didn't really get going, and I think that they have a good group right now to where I do have evidence to believe that it's going to work out this time. So. Yeah, man, a lot of good women's wrestling on the show. Again, like I said, this was a show that had a lot of good wrestling overall. Following this opener that we all give a thumbs up to, we got Carlito backstage. He shaved his nasty mustache. He had that really nasty,
finally
ratty
shaved his perv beard.
Yeah, he had that weird, ratty pedo mustache. He shaved it. So he looks hilarious now, but
no, that was a good look.
Carlito with that mustache,
yeah. I mean, this is a wrestling podcast. I'm not gonna start doing. Continue what you were. Continue.
Sure. So, yeah, Carlito's backstage, and he's with the Judgment Day, and they were approached by Damian Priest, and Carlito said, he said he's like, Dominic is hurt, Rhea's out. And by the looks of it, he looks at JD and Finn. He's like, you could use a little bit extra muscle. And Carlito's so funny, but the way he talks, he sounds like he's speaking Spanish even when he's speaking English. It's the funny.
He sounds like he's not supposed to be there.
But Carlito, yeah, he's really funny. So he he basically is just offering his a spot in the Judgment Day because he hates Rey Mysterio. He thinks Rey Mysterio is a bastard. And Priest is just kind of like, yeah, that's cool and all. I don't fuck with you or trust you, you know. And he's just basically saying like, maybe someday we'll all be friends. And he walks off. I'm like, yo, even when he's not trying to be funny, he's just unintentionally funny. He basically resolves to try to earn the trust of the Judgment Day on this episode of Monday Night Raw. We then had another backstage segment, and it was Chad Gable talking to Maxine Dupree and the Alpha Academy. And this was another amusing one where Chad is just berating all of them. He's telling Maxine, he said that she blew her Queen of the Ring opportunity and she embarrassed the Alpha Academy. And he said, it's all right, because tonight you're going to make it up. And he tells Otis, no bullshit today, no worm. You're going to get serious and you're going to fight Sami Zayn. And he tells Tozawa, you better not do that dance. And tell him, you're going to face Bronson Reed tonight. And then, so that was that. And Maxine looked so, like, sad. She's like a lost puppy, you know, with the big sad eyes and stuff, you know, pouting. And Ivy Nile walks in and she's like, girl, why didn't you tell me you were going to have a match against Shayna in the weekend? I could have helped you train. And she's like, oh, I would have loved to, but, you know, Master Gable won't let me train outside of the academy anymore. And then Chad is like, what are you doing? Get out of here. Go train or whatever. And he pulls her away.
Go train, woman.
And then he goes to Ivy and Island. He's like, you have potential. And he said, you should stop hanging around Miss Taylor, not Swift. And we could do something here.
Boom.
So, yeah. So, you know what's funny about this, Rob? I think that this is the first subtle hint because Ivy Nile is associated with the Creeds. And so I think Chad might dump his loser gang for a new gang. And that might be segued by Ivy turning on Maxine, which is going to be very, very sad. The crowd is going to boo the shit out of that. It's going to be like, oh my God, how could you do that? She's going to be all sad about it. Ivy's going to hit her with some type of slam or some shit. And Chad will get his new group. But that's the direction for tonight. Chad is giving his group of cohorts a new set of trials. So after this, Kathy Kelly was talking to Kofi and Xavier Woods. They cut a promo, and essentially Kofi just resolved to beat Gunther in the name of Xavier Woods. Samantha Irvin introduced legendary ring announcer Lilian Garcia, who was WWE's lead ring announcer from 1999 to 2009 consistently. God, and so she comes out, she gets a great reaction, and Lilian was like, she's like, oh, thank you, I love you guys. And she tells Samantha, she says, you're doing a great job, and puts her over as the next big one. And she was like, please welcome. And she welcomes in Kofi Kingston. So that was a really cool moment. Yeah, I just thought it was a really cool moment. Before we go any further, what do you think of this, Isra? Just this random Lilian cameo.
Oh, I loved it. I didn't understand the reason why she needed to be there specifically to call Kofi specifically.
Me either.
But I was like, let's fucking go. Like, let's have Lilian come every single week just to call one match. No, bro, like, hearing her voice, I swear, like it just did something. It like triggered something in my head. Like it felt like, I don't know how to explain it. It felt like a warm hug. Like this is that nostalgia that we need. This is the good kind of nostalgia.
People sometimes talk about how like there's not enough nostalgia for the women. And listen, Lilian Garcia's contributions cannot go understated to WWE. She was a tremendous ring announcer. I'd go as far as to say, I know we live in a hyperbolic time where everything is the greatest ever. I think she's one of the greatest ring announcers in the history of pro wrestling. And she still got it. I'll tell you that.
I would say that she is the best. When I seen her, I swear I was just like, she's the GOAT. She's the best of the best.
Yeah,
and
she's still
her announcing. It was like nothing changed. She could very easily come out of retirement and come back and still be the best.
That's what was so striking to me, Isra, was she gets on the mic and does the intro, and I'm like, she's still phenomenal at this. Mm-hmm. And all due respect to Samantha, like she's still better than everybody, you know.
She is. And I love that she gave Samantha her flowers, and it felt like a passing of the torch for the women announcers, which I never thought I would ever see.
Right.
It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it was.
She just show up on Friday and do the same thing for Alicia.
Yeah, she might. Maybe she does for a kid because Alicia, what's your last name again, Rob? Is it Alicia?
Alicia Taylor.
Alicia Taylor, yeah. Congratulations to her. She got called up from NXT to replace Mike Rome on SmackDown. And so for the first time ever in wrestling, like the Raw and SmackDown announcers are both black women. And yeah, I mean, if she passes the torch to her too on Friday, I think it'd be really nice and really symbolic. So yeah, this is just a really cool TV moment, like something that I just didn't expect. It was really random. I didn't even know why it was happening, but I appreciated seeing it. So there
Wait,
you
what
go.
city
Maybe,
were we in last night?
South Carolina, I think. I believe it was South Carolina. So there you go.
Because I was trying to look up to see where Lilian Garcia is from. So maybe it's like a hometown thing. I'm still not sure. If anyone knows.
You'd have to think. I doubt she'd fly out to a Raw. You know what I mean? Like, that feels like one of those things where they're in her backyard and they're like, "Hey, you want to come by?" type of thing. But maybe. Backstage, before we get to the match, R-Truth met with Adam Pearce, and basically they're setting up the next direction for the tag team championships. And it was in the middle of this conversation that we met Kiana James from NXT, who came in and she was very formal. And she said that she looked forward to working under Adam Pearce and would prove why she was the 1%. And Pearce was like, "Don't hesitate to contact me." And she said, "Don't worry, Mr. Pearce. I don't hesitate. I adjudicate." And then she walks out. And then R-Truth was like, "Adjuda what? Man, in the office? That's not even PG." So I will admit, this was an R-Truth gag that did make me laugh. I was mad I laughed at this. I was like, God damn it.
R-Truth is funny when he acts like a dickhead, like a dumb, like just a dumb fuck.
I should not be laughing, but he made me laugh, and I was like, damn. So that was that. I feel like in a different era, Kiana James would just be the assistant, like to Adam Pearce in segments and stuff, and they might do that. I feel like she'd be pretty good at that. But King of the Ring quarterfinal match of Gunther versus Kofi Kingston, 3-segment match, and subverted the expectations. You would think that this is a match where Gunther just beats the shit out of Kofi Kingston and dominates him. Kofi gets a couple hope spots, but ultimately it gets snuffed out when Gunther just finishes him off. That's what you would expect, right? But they already did that in a match a couple months ago. So what they did here was Kofi Kingston took the fight to Gunther. He dives on him. He's punching him. He's doing kicks and shit. He's drop kicking Gunther into the apron. He's working on Gunther's his knee. He's hitting his knee repeatedly. And so for the first third of this match, it's Kofi Kingston dominating. And it was very, very different, very subversive, like I said, because Gunther normally does not have matches structured like that. But we come from the commercial break, and now Gunther's got the upper hand a little bit because, again, he's Gunther. He goes in the Boston Crab on the announce table just to kind of make a statement. And we start getting a double limb work match here, guys, because Gunther's working on Kofi's back. Kofi's working on his knee. And it's one of those things where something has got to give. There's a moment where Gunther does a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker to Kofi, but the thing is the backbreaker is on Gunther's knee. So Kofi's selling the back, but Gunther's like, "Fuck my knee." So it was a nice little tidbit that paid off later in the match. This thing continued to pick up with some good back and forth action. The crowd is always they're always going to be into Kofi Kingston. They love the New Day. He's a forever over wrestler, right? So again, back and forth action. This thing kind of climaxed where Kofi Kingston gives Gunther a trouble in paradise on the outside, and he gets back in the ring, and Gunther's about to make the count of 10. He barely makes it. Kofi's going to go for another trouble in paradise. Gunther blocks it, gives him the Tenryu style folding power bomb, and then turns it into the Boston Crab, which Kofi immediately taps out to. I thought this was great. I thought this match was fucking great. Gunther, I mean, there's no superlative that I could throw at this guy that is new. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing we say every week, but he is a special professional wrestler. And having a show where he gets to wrestle and Io Sky gets to wrestle is genuinely a privilege. And just another interesting match, a match that rewarded your attention if you paid attention to it. And one where, like I said, it was just very well worked, very well laid out. I love this. Did you love it, Isra?
I did. I mean, these are at this point 2 greats in wrestling.
Yeah.
And I do remember when they had the feud for the title, and I did enjoy that match, but I think this one was actually a bit better.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And yeah, all around it was solid. I would say this is match of the night.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Rob, what did you think?
I loved this. I love Gunther heat matches, but I love the dynamic of this matchup where, like you said, it was heat on both sides, where Kofi kind of had his target that he wanted to target on Gunther, and Gunther had his target that he wanted to target on Kofi. And they both started, and I like that it was kind of a clash of styles, and the fact that they were in their own different ways were trying to go after what they were targeting. But I love the dynamic of just when Kofi thought he had it and he thought he could take out a limb and has it, Gunther is just like, yo, I'm too strong, bro. Like, it's not gonna work. It's whatever you think you're about to throw, that's not gonna work.
Rob, what was the finish of this match?
A literal Boston Crab. That simple. Yo,
wait,
you know how like
no, Rob, work with me here. It was a Boston Crab, and what happened? Kofi
tapped.
Yes.
No pass out.
What was the finish to Sheamus versus Gunther last week?
They put on this Boston Crab
and Sheamus. Before that, Xavier Woods faced Gunther. What was the finish to that match?
The Boston Crab and Xavier tapped out.
What does the Boston Crab target, Rob?
The leg.
No,
the back.
Yes. What? Who has a bad back, Rob, in WWE?
Kofi Kingston.
No, Nick. On the SmackDown side of the bracket.
Oh, yeah. Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Randy Orton
might be going places.
Has a bad back. And Gunther's been blowing all these niggas' backs out week after week. Just blowing their backs out.
I would. Okay.
Gunther is gonna hit Randy with a fucking Boston Crab, and he's gonna sell the shit out of that in Saudi. He's gonna be screaming in agony, fighting for his life, and it's gonna be so good because it's been an established submission finisher that's ended 4 straight matches, and Randy's gonna break out of that, hit a desperation RKO, and it's gonna be like, oh my god! But guess what? Randy's not gonna be able to go for the pin. Here's the thing, Rob. He's gonna hit that desperation RKO, right? The move that ends all matches, but guess what? He won't be able to go for a pin because his back hurt after the
We're so back. Yo, we're so back.
Randy's not going to be able to. He's going to drag his body to Gunther. He won't make it in time because fuck my back. Oh my God. He's going to reach for Gunther when he finally gets to Gunther's body. No, nigga, it's too late. Bring that ass over here, nigga. Fucking boom, powerbomb again. He's going to pick him up again. Boom, powerbomb second time.
Jey
He's going to
Uso.
go to the top rope. He's going to go to the top rope and do a Gunther splash in Saudi and win King of the Ring.
Jey Uso. You better put a back brace on, nigga. This is your time. I'm back. We're getting a Gunther versus Randy Orton final. I'm back. It's time.
Let's get some gunshots, Rob. Let's fucking go.
We're back. I lost my boom sound effect, sadly. I gotta put it back on there. But yeah, bro, we're back. I'm back. We're doing it. We're doing it in Saudi Arabia. Gunther versus Randy Orton.
Absolutely.
He can't stop me now.
No, we can't. I'm ready. I'm about to rip my clothes off. I'm fired up, you know.
Okay.
Jackie Redmond interviewed Lyra Valkyria backstage. Lyra said she sent the message to Damage Control last week and they better get used to her. And that she had Becky Lynch's back. Lynch appeared and wished her good luck tonight. Liv Morgan came in and she's like, "Hi, Lyra." And she's like, "Has Becky always been a bitch?" And then Lyra was like, the way she said it. And Lyra was like, "I don't know why, you could ask her. She's behind you." And then Becky gives her an awful punch. Just an
horrible punch.
It looked so bad.
It looked like when dudes make fun of girls as a kid and used to be like, you punch like a girl, that's what they would punch like. That was awful.
Excuse me?
Well, no, like I mean, like when dudes would make fun of, like, it looked like she did that.
Yeah,
I was like, what are you doing? You throwing a better punch than that. I've watched you throw a better punch than that. Why are you throwing a punch like that?
So you ever seen the video of that? If you ever seen the video of that fat kid trying to explain himself, he's like stuttering and shit.
He's so mad.
It's like, motherfucking goddamn.
Well.
But this
that was awful.
I don't know what was going on with Becky there, but we also had Kofi Kingston walking.
But Becky Lynch hit Dominic with a better punch 2 weeks ago.
I don't know what. Just do a slap. But anyway, Kofi Kingston was walking backstage, holding his back, and he walks by Karrion Kross, who's standing by the wall, and he's like, "Kofi," and Kofi's just like, "What?" And he says, "It was a tough loss, but there's always time to turn things around." And he walked away. And then Xavier's like, I got that ice,
Who
Kofi.
said this?
Karrion Kross.
Oh,
And
brother.
I must have slept through that.
Oh, fuck.
and then Xavier Woods is like, I got that ice. What did he want, Kofi? And Kofi's like,
you know,
Kofi's looking,
Kofi, you look like you need some friends.
Listen. So Xavier walks in with a bag of ice, and he's like, I got that ice you needed. And he's like, what did he want? And Kofi's like looking off in the distance. He's like, I don't know. And that was the end of that.
Please, guys, listen. We don't need this. I've already gotten this Kofi Kingston spooky guy nigga lore for. I got it with fucking the Wyatt family.
Yo, that was kind of fun. I can't. I gotta say something. That was one of the last Wyatt family storylines that entertained me. When they were feuding with the New Day, and like Bray would be like, Xavier Woods, I've tapped into your mind, Xavier. And
remember the fake final deletion they did?
Yes.
That was so gas, bro.
Xavier kept making that face like he was being like under mind control and shit. Like it was so Xavier, I have your mind.
Xavier, you are my brother.
You're my brother, Xavier. You're my brother. Yeah, see, at least Bray was funny, but yeah, so we'll see what happens there. Bronson Reed faced Akira Tozawa. Tozawa tried to be serious. He got his ass whooped. He lost in 1 minute and 12 seconds. Reed won at the Death Valley Driver and Tsunami, and Chad Gable berated Tozawa. Following this, Kathy Kelly approached Gunther for an interview, but he blew her off, and Kaiser took over. And Kaiser just cut a peak Kaiser promo where he was just kind of like, what did you expect, Kathy Kelly? The ring general is the best, and he basically was talking shit about Sheamus, and he's talking shit about all these other people. He's the greatest glazer in the history of wrestling. This guy, like, he'll die for Gunther. I buy that Ludwig Kaiser would take a bullet for Gunther. He cut a good backstage promo talking shit about Jey Uso, and about Sheamus. Jackie Redmond then went to Adam Pearce asking about what's next for the tag team championships. And that's when the New Catch Republic appeared of Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. And it was just a quick little appearance from them. And we found out that they're going to face the Authors of Pain, the Creed Brothers, and the Judgment Day duo of JD McDonough and Finn Balor on this episode of Raw. And the winners were going to get a tag title shot. It was a number one contendership fatal four-way. So after this, Braun Breaker popped in because Jackie Redmond was like, why wasn't Braun Breaker in the King of the Ring? And he was like, Breaker has limited potential, but the Raw wrestlers in the tournament earn the opportunities, blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to shove Braun in the deep end. And then Braun came in, and Braun basically was just like, that's bullshit. He said they would have been in the deep end with me. He said,
fucking beast.
I would have watched them drown and smiled while they did.
Sink them. Watch them drown.
I should have been in the damn tournament. He was doing like a Wolverine impression here. Like it was like,
I'm gonna watch them struggle for air.
Don't tell me what to do, Summers. But yeah, so Braun walks off. So that's a thing. He's mad at Adam Pearce now. And then we got a King of the Ring quarterfinal match that got us some time as well.
He should have done. You know what he should have done? I didn't mean to cut you off. Should have been like, Nick Aldis would have done this right.
I guess. We got Lyra Valkyria versus Zoe Stark, and I'll tell you what, guys. I know Rob really tore into Zoe last week, and the match was kind of like okay, the Ivy one. I thought this was good. Lyra versus Zoe was pretty good, and not only was it good, more notably and much more importantly, this Lyra experiment to this point is working. They paired it with Becky Lynch last week. She comes out this week. She's the big NXT call up. She was a former women's champion, and they're doing the woo along with their song where it's like da-na-na, woo, da-na-na, woo, and they're cheering for her. And as the match goes on, there's let's go Lyra chants and all that type of stuff. Some good back and forth action here. The work was pretty tight, well executed. That whole thing. Zoe was working with this like mean and nasty edge. You got the vibe with her wrestling that she's very much like. It felt like the sophomore trying to bully the freshman. And I actually like the vibe of that match. So. Yeah, Lyra wins this match with the Michinoku driver. It was starting to get pretty damn good there. And Lyra wins. She cuts the promo. She speaks in Gaelic, and she goes over and she advances to the semifinals where she'll fight Io Sky. Isra, what did you think of Lyra versus Zoe Stark?
I thought the match was pretty solid. Yeah. And I think Zoe Stark picked up where, you know, she needed to improve from last week, because there were a few areas that were kind of sloppy, kind of botched, but she definitely like tightened up, like how you said, and did much better this week. And her and Lyra had really good chemistry. Like how you said, Lyra being over just out the gate shocked me. I always, nowadays, I'm kind of like surprised when I see a wrestler is getting over quickly. Or like the crowd being behind them at the very least, quickly. So it's nice to see that, you know, the women are getting over and that they get it, and that, you know, the NXT women come up and they get their flowers right away. And the performance from both of them was pretty solid. I enjoyed it, and of course, the right woman won.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to Lyra versus Io. I prefer Io win and go to the finals, but if Lyra wins, it would mean that they're committing to just really getting a new person over, and I can't get mad at that. So it's one of those matches where I'm fine with either winner, even though I'm rooting for Io Sky. I think the match is going to be very good as well. So yeah, I'm excited for
I
that one.
disagree. It's for Io. I'm standing behind that. It's for Io.
I think Io should win too, and I'm rooting for her. I'm just saying that, like, if Lyra wins, right? Clearly, that's the company going, "Yo, she's a star." And here's my thing, Isra. My philosophy on pushing young wrestlers is wrestling is so used to being half-assed with it. Like, they like doing a thing where, like, they give you a little bit of a push and then they pull it back and go, "Not yet. She has potential, but maybe someday." And I get it. You know, you want to take your time with things, but like, enough with the maybe someday pushes. Sometimes just take someone all the way. You know, so I wouldn't necessarily.
I can see that point.
Yeah. It just shows more conviction in your direction. You know, and so that's kind of my thing on that. Rob, what do you think about this semifinal matchup?
Well, you know, a lot of wrestlers that we revere in this industry, you know, that we have had periods where, you know, they had to wrestle, you know, the lower tier wrestlers on the, you know, Bret Hart had to, you know, he had to wrestle his Vikings, and he had to wrestle his John Nords and his Duke Drozys, you know. Roddy, you know, he was wrestling D1 athletes that didn't know what they were doing. And, you know, you got your Lyra Valkyrias carrying your Zoe Starks on Monday Night Raw. But needless to say, this was very good for what it was. I'm still not finding myself not interested in Zoe Stark. I can't really like get into it. I just don't know what it is. It's not even like her social media presence. It's just even her promos, she doesn't sound convincing to me. She sounds, you know what it is? They used to say this about a lot of guys back in the day. They sound, and guys and girls, you sound like you're trying to convince yourself that you are what you're trying to be.
You know what I will say, though, Rob? I'm going to counter by saying this. Broadly speaking, I think this applies to Zoe, but I think she might be stumbling into something here. Steve Austin always talks about how, like, the best wrestlers are the ones that are being themselves but turned up to 11. And Zoe on Twitter has just been kind of hating on a lot of the new girls and stuff, right? And she seems bitter about her position. She thinks that she's better than the company's pushing her as, right? And I think within this match, there was almost a subtext of that. She seemed very resentful at Lyra being the new shiny toy, because she's like, I called up last year and I didn't get this fucking pomp and circumstance. And so I'll tell you what, I think if going forward, because I liked her bully role in this match. I think if going forward, her gimmick, so to speak, is basically just kind of shitting on the new girls and trying to just stiff the new girls and be physical with them and bully them.
The thing is, I don't want Zoe to, because Zoe's good enough to where I don't want Zoe to just be a gatekeeper, because that's what a gatekeeper is. It's like, she's always fucking with new people.
That's still a valuable position, and even as a gatekeeper, she'll find her way into some title matches. At this point, my priority is to just get her to work on TV rather than to just be someone who nobody cares about. If people get into booing her because she's just such an asshole, then that's a good direction. So, I mean, again, yet to be determined. We'll see. But I just think that she might have stumbled into something.
Hey, sometimes, man, y'all don't gotta be like creative. Don't give me a character. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes creative be right.
Yeah,
that's what it might take.
Guys, make sure to like the video. Please send us super chats. Give us your perspectives on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Also, give us some predictions on where you think some of this stuff is going with the King of the Ring tournament. We only have, we have the semifinal set on Raw, and we're gonna get that on SmackDown on Friday. So give us some of your predictions, and again, make sure to send super chats. We'll read them shortly. But chugging along with Monday Night Raw, Jey Uso cut a backstage promo and he said that he was going to give Ilja Dragunov a eat down. Moving on, Sami Zayn faced Otis. This was also pretty fucking short. Basically, as I said earlier, basically Otis was instructed to wrestle seriously, and he tried to do so, but he can't resist the urge to do the worm, and the crowd wants him to do the worm because they love Otis, and so he rips his shirt off, he does the worm, drops the elbow on Sami Zayn. Chad Gable is yelling at him to go do the Vader bomb. Sami moves out the way. He gives Otis a haluva kick. He wins the match. Chad Gable runs in the ring. He's berating Otis and he's shitting on Otis and he's pushing him and shoving him. And the crowd is like cheering for Otis. They really want Otis to fight back against this guy who's clearly abusing him, right? But Otis ultimately does not do it. Again, Gable is just like abusing him and yelling at him and berating him. Sami gets back in the ring. Sami gives Chad Gable an exploder suplex. And Otis, because he's loyal to his master, he pulls Chad out the ring to save him. Chad shoves him again. He's like, get away from me. And he slapped Otis right in the face. Slaps him. And the crowd is like, they gasp. They're like, wow. And he's zooming on Otis' face. And Otis looks so sympathetic and so sad. And Chad yells at him and he's like, don't walk with me. And he's shitting on him. The crowd really wants Otis to fight back and hit Chad Gable and pop this asshole in the mouth. But he doesn't do it. He can't bring himself to do it. He lowers his head. He lowers his shoulders. And he sulks and walks along with Chad Gable. I got to be honest, Rob. This was WWF. I was like, yo, this is some 80s cinema right here. This is Ted DiBiase and Virgil. You know, I thought the heat that this angle got was like really promising. The crowd,
you fucking big dumb fuck, big dumb.
Yes, the crowd really wanted. They really liked this guy, and they really wanted him to pop Chad Gable in the mouth. And again, like I said, the way the crowd got into this was just like, wow, like they're really into this thing. I'm really looking forward to the Bronson Reed, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable match, and I think they've laid this out well in that the actual big Sami Chad blow off is going to happen like in a month and a half, right? And so this phase of the saga is to essentially deal with Bronson Reed, but also have Chad transition out of the old Alpha Academy, which he's currently in the process of doing. And so as a story, I think it's been plotted out well, and I thought this was a very successful angle. What did you think, Rob?
I loved this angle for the simple fact that, like you just said, it feels like it feels very, very old school in the sense of it's basically these two who, because people don't like, if people really don't know, Chad Gable and Otis have like had this friendship, this bond. They were college roommates, like they were college teammates. They talk about it all the time. They were talking about it with Kurt Angle in that Table for Three they did. They were like, yeah, we used to sit back and just watch your shit. And so it's really interesting to see this dynamic where they're basically having Chad, after such a long friendship, start to act like this towards Otis because but it makes sense because Chad is finally tired of being a loser.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yes, sir. Are you into this Sami Zayn, Alpha Academy, Bronson Reed saga?
You know how I said that SmackDown is the Telenova show? This is that Telenova spilling onto Raw because this was just good TV. Like it took me a second because like everyone is just acting. Like there's just a lot of acting going on. It's like for a second it kind of felt a little Disney for me. But then like once they really got into it, like it was just very compelling. And, you know, for someone like me, I didn't know that Otis and Chad were basically, you know, longtime friends and brothers and the closeness that they have completely like extending beyond TV. So that just adds to it. It just like adds to the chemistry.
Yeah.
And then you're like adding in all these other people, like the other members of Alpha Academy. We have Akira, and then we have like him feuding with Sami Zayn. And there's just like so many different moving parts. And there's just nothing stale about this. So this is something else that moves me.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
whole
very
thing was
fluid
just
story.
10 out of 10.
Very fluid story. Yeah,
I'm very
excited.
shocked. I don't mean to like have like a moment like mid podcast, but I'm very shocked at how good Raw is. Like I
It's a
thought
good
that
show.
Raw was just gonna be very whatever to me because I'm like Seth is not here, so you know I'm just watching it just to watch it. But a lot of things are just genuinely compelling. Like
Yeah.
I'm very surprised.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show. And you know what? Now that Vince isn't there, the writing team can actually be put to decent use because there was a negative connotation for years that WWE uses TV writers. But the reason why they weren't useful was because they had to write for a 75-year-old senile man who had very specific taste in what he wanted on his own show. But now when you can have people that have basic sense of character and story and direction and drama, and you actually allow them to put those chops to good use, it's starting to trickle into shows that, again, have compelling characters. I feel bad for Otis. I feel bad for Maxine. I really want Sami to get revenge on this guy, Chad Gable. I want to see how Chad Gable, evolves his approach and transitions away from the people that he's about to dump. How are they going to take on the looming threat of Bronson Reed, who's unstoppable, and that they've established that nobody can kick out of the tsunami? And I believe that in this triple threat, what's going to happen is Sami will finally overcome Bronson Reed and get rid of the Bronson Reed problem and pin him, right? And Chad's gonna do the heel thing where he goes, no. You didn't fucking pin me. We're not done, you piece of shit. You pinned the fat man, not me. And that's gonna then lead to the next step. And Chad's probably gonna go, you know what though? Before we go any further, I got some dead weight to dump, and he's gonna dump Otis and Maxine and Tozawa officially, and we'll probably get again the other layer here when Ivy likely turns on Maxine. It's like, man, that's gonna really suck. Ivy's gonna get the heat for it, and that also gives an in-ring direction for Ivy to have. So again, a lot of moving parts and a really fun storyline, I think, on Monday Night Raw. So we followed this up with Braun Strowman backstage with the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. He's just putting them over. JD McDonough walks up and he's like, what do you want? And he's like, they're doing Gable's Zayn next week. Yeah, they're doing a singles match next week, non-title. I have a prediction here, Rob. I have a prediction here.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Gable is going to beat Sami.
Yes.
I think Chad is going to beat Sami, non-title.
I don't think he's gonna do it definitively though.
Probably not, but I think he's going to beat Sami because guess what, Rob? When Bronson Reed gets pinned by Sami Zayn, Chad Gable goes, motherfucker, I beat you. You beat the fat man. Okay, 2 + 2 = 4.
Okay, you beat the fat nigga, so
delete the fat man and let's run this back for the championship. They're going to do something along those lines. That's what I think is happening next week. So I'm really looking forward to that match. It's going to be tremendous. So, Braun Strowman got confronted by JD McDonough, and he's like, what do you want?
There's too many Brauns.
What do you want?
There's a lot. Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed.
You got no. That's not. You got to do the Strowman. What do you want?
He's like, what do you want? He was talking to Chris. He's like, I gotta say, man, you guys got some arms. And he pointed out, he's like, I mean, look at you. Oh my god. So then JD comes in. He's like, oh, I'm here on Judgment Day business. And he's like, well, what about it? What's that mean to me? And he's like, well, we run Monday Night Raw. And he's just like,
running nothing with me here.
He told Braun, he said, we don't like you interfering in our business. Braun basically just like, nigga, I'm with the shits. You know
Braun, that nigga turned on Braun.
Say that in the impression.
We run the Monday Night Raw. Well, nigga, I'm with the shit, so I don't know what you want.
He's like, brother, what does that mean to me?
What does that mean to me? We got a non-title women's match between Becky Lynch and Dakota Kai. 9 minutes, 59 seconds. The crowd was really into Becky Lynch. I thought the action here was like okay. I thought it was an all right wrestling match. I like that it got time. Genuinely, I really did like that it got time. They started to kind of get somewhere with it, but again, it ended in a DQ because Becky puts Dakota into the disarmer, and then the Damage Control girls get involved and stomp her out. And this leads to Lyra once again running out to do the save. This is a good angle from a layout standpoint because you get the DQ, post-match attack. the new babyface saves Becky like she did last time, but this time it was also to preview the Queen of the Ring semifinal match because the ring clears out and it's Lyra and Io who we need to see face next week, and you can't set that up next week because we already got to get the match, so you get to see them face to face here as she's saving Becky. So that was well done, and then when it's very well laid out, and then when Becky rises back up to try to fight back against the Damage Control girls, her op runs through the crowd, and Liv Morgan gets in the ring and starts beating the dog shit out of Becky Lynch. And so you set up set up two matches that you're building to in one angle. It's a very layered, well laid out angle. This was fucking good, I thought. The angle, the match was like whatever, but I thought this angle was really well put together. The same way that I hate promo trains, I love angles like this that are multi-layered and build the multiple different matches all in one segment. So that was just my opinion. What did you think, Isra?
I wasn't particularly moved by the match, and maybe at that point I was getting kind of burned out. Definitely do appreciate the fact that there were 3 women's matches that had a decent amount of time.
Yes.
But I was more so moved, like how you were saying, like at the end when they had like Damage Control women came out, Liv came out, and it got really spicy.
Yes.
And that's when the women's division is at its best for me personally, is when it is spicy. So that was like my main takeaway. I think when it comes to like the storyline that we're seeing with Becky and Liv, it really is like week by week, you know, seeing it develop. Like there hasn't, in my opinion, been like a huge bomb. Yeah, with them.
Yeah, you know what's good about the angle, Isra? I'm watching it and I'm like, there's so many different matches you can make on Raw over the next few weeks. We can see Lyra face Liv finally, because maybe because Liv isn't giving her bad energy, but she's giving bad energy to her big sister. You know, we could get a tag. We can get Lyra and Becky versus any 2 members of Damage Control. So there's a couple matches you can get out of this. I thought it was well done. What did you think, Rob?
I really like this. I really like the storytelling of how they did it, where it was like you said, it was one story, then another story, then another story.
Yeah,
we built to the Queen of the Ring semifinal, then we built to Becky versus Liv, and then we also used that to build up the on-screen relationship between Lyra and Becky Lynch and that whole ordeal. I'm very interested to see where this goes, and if it live, because they basically just announced they did. I think Fightful just said the other day, I think it was that Becky's deal is like hasn't been like finalized, or like she hasn't signed anything. Like what was that they said?
Say it again.
They said somebody put something out about Becky Lynch in her contract the other day.
Yeah, it's expiring in 3 weeks.
Interesting. That was Fightful, right? I was right. Okay, so that's very interesting because she hasn't signed, which I'm pretty sure she's going to sign back. But if she hasn't signed, what do you think she does? Pay-per-view. Yeah, like in time for the pay-per-view, especially. What do you think she does?
Then she has to lose to Liv. Which is so the real life situation is also spicy here because the result of that match is going to be dependent on Becky Lynch signing a dotted line. So we'll see.
So do you think Becky wins and she stays, or she loses? She could lose and stay.
Well, yes, I think she's staying no matter what. This match result, I'm not totally sure. Genuinely, I'm not sure. Damage Control could screw Becky because here's the thing. I feel like Becky's next direction is just kind of tagging with Lyra for a month, fighting the Damage Control girls. So I don't know. I really don't know what they end up doing here, to be honest with you. It can go either way. After this, Jackie was talking to Ilja Dragunov, and Ilya's promos are really funny. He scares the shit out of me. He's just like very intense, and he has so many veins on his face and neck. It's like it's not real.
Oh.
What's up?
Oh,
yeah,
nothing.
Ilja Dragunov,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, his face is all red and shit. He wrestling is real to him, you know, and he's just talking about it's a dream for many to be in here, but for me, it's my destiny. And it's just all right, man. I am the Tsar of the Ring, and I beat Gunther. And it's all right, man. Yeah, he's just kind of cutting a promo. And it was at this moment that he runs into Gunther. and we got a little bit of a face-off here. It was really, really cool.
Picture because they don't have it on here.
Damn. Yeah, he faces off with Gunther, and it's a really cool moment. Obviously, the Triple H thing here, where we're gonna see this match. We're probably not gonna see it for a couple months, but I am looking forward to how we get to this point. After this, we got a fatal 4-way tag team #1 contenders match. Finn Balor and JD McDonough versus the New Catch Republic versus the Authors of Pain versus the Creed Brothers. This is a 2-segment, 10-minute match where they did a lot of moves. And yeah, it was just fun. The Creed Brothers are fun. They do a lot of suplexes and slams and power spots. Authors of Pain keep it simple and sweet. They just lariat people and do power bombs. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, super athletic wrestlers, good technical wrestlers. They did their dives and their moonsaults and all their combination offense. But ultimately, it looked like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate were on the winning track. But Carlito comes out of nowhere and he gives Pete Dunne a backstabber on the table, which is very stupid. If you're Carlito, if you're listening to this, sir, why would you backstabber somebody on an announce table? You're the one who hurt your back. You fucking idiot.
What a fucking beast.
And then was like, I'm doing it for the Judgment Day, and then he fucking hurts his back.
He was like, oh wait, fuck.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. So he does that though to help JD and Finn Balor win the match. So the story advancement here is Carlito is helping the Judgment Day, and he successfully helped them become the #1 contenders for the tag team championships. So he's closer to joining the group, and it looks like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are likely the baby faces that'll chase after them. So we'll see how that turns out. But I thought this was a fun little match here. What did you think, Isra?
I enjoyed it. Like how you said, there was like all these different types of styles that each team had to offer. My favorite are the Creeds. Every single time I watch them, I'm like, they're next. Like, I need them to win the title now. That's basically it.
What did you think, Rob?
I thought this was fine. I thought it was fine. Yeah, great. I like it that they're showcasing all the tag teams, and when you know it's going to be like a big episode, even though this wasn't like a big episode, they basically find a way to showcase the tag team division. Right. Whereas all Vince used to do was championship contender title eliminators, where you could face tag champs, and if you beat the tag champs, you get a title match.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I remember before they did the match at day one, they did the Usos and the New Day like a week before in a non-title match, and they did it in 5 minutes. So
yeah, it was just stupid. It was just a stupidly booked company and a stupid show. I like all this because I don't have to watch Miz and R-Truth wrestle. So that's always a plus, and I can't wait till they lose those championships. Damian Priest was backstage with Dominic Mysterio, and he was asking if everything was good with Rhea. Dominic didn't answer. Balor, JD, and Carlito joined in, and they were excited about the win. And Carlito was worried Priest wasn't happy, but Priest said, I got to be honest. What you did, it was cool. And, yeah. And then
impressions, bro.
and Priest told Carlito, handle your business with Rey Mysterio. And Priest wasn't interested in doing business with him if you let them down. So we got the card for next week's Raw. It's going to be Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable, non-title. Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky in a Queen of the Ring semifinal match. Gunther versus who we now know is Jey Uso in a King of the Ring semifinal. And the main event was here, folks. 12 minutes, 49 seconds. It's just me, Jey Uso, comes out to face Ilja Dragunov, the Mad Dragon. And, yeet punches versus chops. Yeet punches versus elbows. Yeet punches versus kicks. Yeet punches versus the H-bomb. Yeet punches versus German suplexes. Yeet punches versus, the Torpedo Moscow and the Constantine Special. Jey Uso won this match after some yeet and some yeets and some more yeets. He did the hands up down thing to get more yeet chants. He did the fireflies for his entrance. And, Ilja Dragunov did the H-bomb and he got kicked out of, and Jey Uso countered his attempt at a Torpedo Moscow with a spear. And then Jey Uso goes to the top for Uso splash, yeet, and Jey Uso wins the match, yeet, and he will be going to the semifinals. Gunther comes out. He stares at Ilja Dragunov. It's kind of that look of like, pathetic. And then he goes into the ring. He faces off with Jey. Jey does the yeet hands in Gunther's face, and Raw goes off the air. What did you think, Isra?
I don't know where all this angst came from. Like, I thought the match was really good. See, the thing is, like, it's easy to enjoy wrestling when you don't have these motherfuckers in your ears telling you that it's bad. Because I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a lot of fun. I do think, maybe to your point, that it was very Jey-centric. I didn't feel like the match was led too much by Ilja, which had he led it, it would have been just completely 10 out of 10. I'm still of the belief that Jey Uso's a great worker, a great wrestler. I still enjoy him, on the mic and everything. I guess that's a hot take now in the time that I've been away. But I thought the match was pretty solid. I would have preferred, Ilja to win, but it is what it is. Like how I said in the beginning, I think that there's going to be a much bigger match that's going to be had between him and Gunther, and it's going to have much more time and have much more meaning and stuff like that. So I'm fine with them waiting on that.
Oh no! Finish your review, sir.
Oh shit! I just noticed.
Finish the review.
So we have a guest, but let me just wrap up. Yeah, it was solid match. I'm like scared right now because AO is here. But still on this side, still support Jey Uso, and I think that him versus Gunther is going to be fantastic. Hi AO, how are you doing?
It's Yeo in the motherfucking building. I'm just here. It's Big Yeo in the motherfucking building.
Wait. Before you say anything, tweet that you're here, brother.
Yeah,
it's Big Yeo in the mall. Hold on, I got you right now.
It's tweet and then Rob, give you a quick review.
I got you right now.
Yeet. Mad Dragon, yeet. Headbutt, yeet. Chop, yeet. German suplex, yeet, and spear, yeet, splash.
But who was yeeting? Hold on. Who was yeeting?
Oh wait, let me just quote tweet Ibu shit, so I don't have to fucking go through all this.
My thing is, I'm not. Listen, Israel. January Rob agrees with you saying Jey Uso was a good wrestler, but in May of 2024, when all he does is yeet, I can't do it no more, bro.
Rob, can I be honest with you, Rob?
Not fun.
I'm not even that mad that Ilja lost because obviously they're gonna do him and Gunther. You know what? I'm actually I said this already 9 times, but it's the feeling that, bro, are they really gonna give me Tama versus Jey in the final?
Bro, I told you.
Are they gonna do it?
I'm telling you, that's what's happening.
But the thing is, Rob, I thought about it. Gunther's won 3 consecutive matches with the Boston Crab to the back. He's gonna that has to mean something. He's setting it up to do it on Randy Orton, who has a bad back. That's absolutely where we're going here. So we'll see. Yeet-O. How are you
give me like 60 seconds. Just keep talking.
Sure. Man. That's really what it is. I'm not even like I said, it's not like, oh, they killed Ilja, or oh my God, they're not pushing him, or oh, they're doing. Ilja is going to be fine, but it's just kind of tough, man. It's tough. I think Jey being this over is actually problematic for the booking because they feel like they have to push him like he's Superman. And I get uncomfortable by most Superman pushes in wrestling, to be completely honest with you, unless you're Cody Rhodes. But
no.
Yeah.
How's that Superman run looking out?
It's looking great. He had a great match with AJ Styles. He's gonna have another great one with Logan Paul.
What happened? I would say some people didn't see Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. About 400, 500,000, maybe a million people.
Well, they were watching the Knicks game, sir. So, anyways, the crowd is not the crowd. Our live chat. Someone called me Yeet Boo. Please never do that again.
Please.
Yeet. Someone said, "Oh my God, Ibu, this is paranoia."
Anyway, break down this match for us real quick, Ibu. I'm going to tell you why it's one of the greatest things we've seen in modern WWE history.
All right, so Ilja Dragunov, the Mad Dragon, was talking about how he beat Gunther, and that it was his death to face him again. He has a backstage face-off with Gunther. Gunther says no words to him. Ilja looks so determined to get back to fighting fighting Gunther. He's within his grasp. All he has to do is win this one match, and he gets.
All you have to do is win that one match.
Win one match, you're getting right to Gunther. One match. He goes right out there. Mad Dragon against the main event, Jey Uso. The Fireflies are out. The crowd is ready. Semifinals. Winner gets Gunther next week in the King of the Ring. Winner of that goes to the fucking finals of this tournament in Saudi Arabia. And what happens, AO? They ring the bell. Yeet punches versus chops. Yeet punches versus forearms. Yeet punches versus kicks. Yeet punches versus a power bomb.
Yeet.
Fucking punches versus the H-bomb.
Yeet.
Punches versus the fucking Torpedo Moscow in the special. And ultimately, he kicks out of the H-bomb. He does the he tries to go for the Torpedo Moscow and gets countered by a spear.
Yeet.
And he goes to the top rope. Uso splash. 1, 2, 3.
Yeet splash.
It's not Ilja Dragunov going to the semifinals. It's main event Jey Uso.
It's a big yeet man, Jey Uso. And let me tell you something. Bro, yes. The H-bomb, it's a cool move. The super H-bomb from the top rope, cool move. Torpedo Moscow, cool move. You feel me? Constantine special, cool move. Is it drawing money? Is it selling merch? It's not. You know what it is? Yeet! Yeet punches, brother. Yeet kicks. The yeeter flies. Bouncing up and down in the crowd, nigga. Main event Jey Uso. Just dancing. Gyrating. Yeet, yeet, yeet in the middle of the ring where everybody's just waving the fucking yeeter flies. That's what's drawing money. That's what's putting butts in seats. When we look at the TV, that's what's drawing numbers. And that's the type of person you gotta push. If you want to see these Torpedo Moscows and fucking Constantine specials and H-bombs turn into all petite wrestling. Turn into all empty wrestling. We're drawing money on Monday nights. You feel me? We're drawing money on Monday nights. We're putting butts in seats. You feel me? Bro, this is not World Wrestling Entertainment. Stephanie McMahon and Vince Vaughn told y'all WWE just stands for WWE. I'm about to change it to WWE because that's what's drawing money, brother. That's what's putting butts in seats. That's what's selling merch. You got Jey Uso just looking like a star. Yeet glasses on, yeet jacket on, doing the yeet dance, coming out just yeeting all over you bitch ass niggas. And we got niggas like you crying about some indie midget that nobody's ever heard of 2 years ago. Never mind the fact I've been watching Ilja Dragunov wrestle for 10 years. But you crying over these indie midgets nobody heard of 2 years ago, nigga. Nigga, please. We're drawing money, all right?
This is disgusting. Listen,
it's hard to argue with that.
Ayo, I love the passion, but it all comes to an end next week.
First of all, I just want to emphasize I'm drawing a fucking number. That's 55 new people in here. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Listen, I gotta say this, Ayo. Great promo. It's not gonna matter next week when Gunther, the ring general, puts this to a stop. When Gunther, the ring general, puts this to a stop. Because guess what, AO? I was talking about this with Rob. Before the King of the Ring tournament started, his last match was against Xavier Woods. Taps him out to a Boston Crab. Listen, taps him out to a Boston Crab. Last week against Sheamus, taps him out to a Boston Crab. This week against Kofi, taps him out to a Boston Crab. He's going to do the same to Jey because guess what, AO? The Boston Crab attacks the back. Who has a bad back in WWE? It's Randy Orton. This is all a setup to get Randy in the finals with that Boston Crab. I was just telling
run these names. You said Kofi Kingston. You said Xavier Woods.
And
you said Sheamus.
Yes.
You know what all three of these people have in common?
What do they have in common?
They're independent wrestling midget marks. You know who never worked in the indies? You never had to spend a day on the indies? Big main event, Yeet Man Jey Uso, nigga. We're not far from no Boston Crab. We know selling that. First of all, your man, Ilja and Gunther have gone to wars in the past. Yes or no?
Yes.
Absolute wars. Like, not one finisher was enough to put either of them down. Not two finishers was enough to put either of them down. Not three finishers enough to put either of them down. It took 4 at times. Yes or no?
Yes.
Guess what? Big main event Jey Uso did to Ilja, Gunther's probably greatest rival in his career last night. Guess what he did?
He about power skill.
He said, watch out, pussy-o, super kick. Yeet. He said, watch out, pussy-o, spear. Yeet. He said, watch out, pussy, yo. Uso splash. Yeet. 1, 2, 3. GG's, nigga. It wasn't no war. It wasn't no back and forth epic. You wanna know why? Ibu?
Why?
Because he's just that damn good. Yeet.
Oh my God. Rob, we're gonna get predictions from the round table. Jey versus Gunther. Jey with no bits. Who's winning next week?
Jey, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Jey.
I've been looking at the quarters.
Okay.
Gunther ain't been drawn, brother. And that's bits aside.
Oh my God.
That's all bits aside. Gunther ain't been drawn. You know who's number 1 or 2 in merch every single week? Every single month?
It's Jey Uso and CM.
Big Yeet man, Jey Uso. I haven't seen a single firefly in the crowd for Gunther yet. You feel me?
Because that's not his gimmick.
I haven't seen a single firefly in the crowd for Big Gunther yet. Yo, he should have stayed fat and stayed Walter. Maybe the fans would care, nigga. Nobody cares about Michael Phelps in wrestling trunks. You feel me?
Isra.
The ring general. Yeet.
Isra, who's winning next week? Gunther or Jey Uso?
I would say Gunther.
Can you please do some Mr. Voodoo to just confirm this? Can we please just, you know what I mean?
Bro, the thing about Israel voodoo is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she can't just like summon it out of nowhere. And it 100% works. But it has to come from real hatred in her heart. She can't just be like, oh, well, you know what? You're cursed now. It doesn't work like that, bro. It doesn't work like that.
It's some Jujutsu Kaisen ass shit where it's like the cursed energy has to come from the
Dead
bottom.
ass. Like, it has to really come from within. Like, she can't just be like, oh, well, you're cursed now.
Nah, don't work like that. No, Israel Voodoo is very real. That's why Punk's on the shelf. That's why Cody Rhodes is not drawing.
Oh. But that all comes from real hatred that you have for these gentlemen.
Yeah, I need Isra to join my side and hate this guy. You know what I mean?
Yo,
you know?
when Jey Uso just yeets Gunther out of this business and beats him next week, I'm committing here and now. I will be doing the entire Raw review next week. I will go back. So I don't watch Raw, right? But I was like, Ibu, Rob, let me know when entrances start for Big Yeet versus Ilja, because I'm watching that live. And let me know. I watched it. The real star won. You feel me? The real draw won. You feel me? So next week I'm gonna do the same. I'm not watching Raw live.
Wait, what did you say?
He was over his hell. He's a real star. But so if they main event again next week, I'm gonna tell my brothers, I'm gonna be like, yo, let me know when the match is on. I'm gonna tune in for the match. If Hunter's not a coward and he does the right thing and Big Yeet goes over, I'm watching the entire Raw and I'm tapped in. I'm drawing a Raw review next week. So let me get WWE Yeets in the chat. I want WWE Yeets in the chat.
God, please.
So do you think they're really gonna do Jay Tama as the final? Because it's either Jay Tama or it's fucking Randy and Gunt, you know?
Bro, of course they're doing Jay Tama in the final. They know where their bread and butter. They know where their bread is buttered. It's the bloodline. The fuck?
Low key though, it feels like if Jay becomes the king of the ring, it's like a consolation prize, like a here damn.
He doesn't need it. This bloodline shit doesn't need the King of the Ring final. They can book that shit irrespective of this tournament.
Randy Orton needs King of the Ring? What the fuck?
Listen,
he's a 14-time world champion.
Gunther beating Randy. Randy's trying to win the big one. He's trying to get back to the top. He's out here fucking having good matches again and shit. Gunther's gonna be validated by beating a legendary figure in WWE canon by paralyzing Randy Orton. He's gonna put him in the Boston Crab, AO. He's gonna put him in the Boston Crab like he tapped out everybody else. And you know what's gonna happen?
First of all, it's called the Walls of Jericho.
Oh my God! He's gonna put him in the Boston Crab. Randy, because Randy's legendary, he's not gonna tap like Sheamus did. He's not gonna tap like Xavier. He's not gonna tap like Kofi. He's gonna break out. He's gonna hit that desperation RKO. But you know what's gonna happen, AO? his back is going to be too compromised. He won't be able to make his body over to Gunther's and pin him in time. So by the time he gets to Gunther's body, Gunther's going to say, "Come here, nigga," and he's going to powerbomb him and then powerbomb him again for good measure. Do it a third fucking time. The ref is going to say, do you want me to stop this, Randy? No, I don't. And Gunther's going to beat him with a splash. 1, 2, 3. And Gunther is going to win the King of the Ring. That's what's going to happen. It's none of this yeet bullshit. It's none of this bloodline garbage. It's not going to be a fucking Tama Tonga versus Jey Uso fuckfest. That's not happening.
Yo.
It's not happening.
That sounds good. That sounds good, Ibu. But Rob, you know what sounds better?
What?
What sounds better, yo?
Yeet punch! Yeet punch! Yeet punch! Hits the ropes! Another yeet punch! Super kick! The fans just sounding yeet! You feel me? Hits the rope! Yo, Gunther goes for a clothesline. Hits the rope again. Gunther goes for a chop. Ducks under it. Hits the rope again. Spear. Everybody's yeet. And then he just climbs to the top rope. Oh, so splash. 1, 2,
kick out.
3. No, there's no kick out. There's no kick out, you bitch ass nigga. There's no kick out, you mark. All right, there's no kick out. All right, we're going to the finals. And Tama Tonga, who I saw a clip on Twitter the other day. They took the gun stun away from him.
Yeah.
Oh, those who don't know, right? Those who don't know that are watching this show right now, Tama Tonga did a gun stun, which he got from Carl Anderson. But it's really just it's a fucking cutter. It's an RKO. So they're like, yeah, you're not doing that on WWE TV, my nigga. So they got this nigga doing a flatliner now. There's like no buildup, because you know how Swerve like does that rolling flatliner.
Yeah.
And like what's Grayson Waller's move? He like leaves the ring, goes back in. Is it a flatliner or is it something else? Yeah. So like there are other people in WWE with flatline, but they were just like no. They were just like, no, Tom, we just need you to grab this nigga and hit him with a flatliner. That's your new finish, bro. So that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting in the finals. Big Tama Tonga versus main event Jey Uso. And I think that's where we debut Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu screws Jey Uso out of winning King of the Ring.
Tama's King of the Ring.
Tama Tonga is King of the Ring. It's just him, Us.
Can Jake get into Saudi Arabia?
That's the other thing. Can he make
bro, Saudi Arabia is a lawless country. I mean, it's lawless if you have money, bro. Like they're not banning him from.
Oh yeah,
bro. Like
remember the Usos weren't supposed to go. Like they weren't supposed to go a lot of times.
Bro,
like, yeah,
bro, it's illegal to be gay in Saudi Arabia. You know how many gay people are? You know how openly gay people are on the WWE roster. Right. They don't care if you have money. You're not allowed to live with a woman in Saudi Arabia if you're not married. Right. You know who Ronaldo lives with in Saudi Arabia? His fucking girlfriend, my nigga. Like it's only like if you have money, it's a lawless country. So like they're gonna bring Big Jacob Fatu in there.
Here's my thing though. You know what we're all forgetting about, guys? You know what's gonna save me next week? Drew McIntyre. He's gonna save me.
No, he's not. You thought he was gonna save you this week. On that note, I've been enjoying the show, but I actually do have to get shit done. Thank you for having me up here. Love y'all. Keep up the good work. I don't watch Raw, but I watch a Raw review every week because y'all are actually really entertaining.
Thank you.
Keep doing y'all shit.
Thank you, AO. You piece of shit. Have a good one. We got this, Rob. Don't worry.
I'm not gonna lie. AO cooked you.
He didn't cook.
Someone had to come and restore order.
Rob started so defeated when AO was like, you know what happens next, Rob? And he was like,
bro, because I'm like, I see all this happening.
Rob was like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen next?
Because I thought Tama Tonga wasn't making it to the second round when it was Bobby. I was like, okay, it might be
Bobby got him right.
It might get like Bobby Randy, and then we could do that whole. Then they said, nigga, Angelo Dawkins, and I said, yeah, it's over. It's so over.
Guys, we're gonna close this out. Send us your last super chats. Let's talk about this. All right, let's get out of here.
And I'm not even mad at the Jey Uso Tama Tonga final. Like it's gonna be horrific or something. But
I just don't want that to
be. If you told me I was getting this match 3 years ago when he had that awesome match at Wrestle Kingdom and Jay had that match with Seth, I would be like, okay, cool. But it's 3 months later. So Kaden Lee of the Performance Center, 199. Good morning from Tokyo. Jey Uso bad.
Facts. Absolute facts.
He just needs a gimmick change. KO 50 Mexican pesos. Official prediction is Lyra over Io. Stratton exploits Belair's tweaked knee to get to the semis versus Jade. Chelsea and Piper screw Jade. Tiffany versus Lyra. They've already spoiled it, by the way.
I stop putting stock into that graphic bullshit.
But they've already spoiled. Come on.
That's
yeah, they're gonna
What
do.
was it spoiled?
People. The Divas fans saw that like the graphic of Tiffany has her leaning to in a way that like shows that she's on the right side of the graphic to suggest that she's in the finals, basically. And I was like, this is the most like crackhead brain theory. Like, so they basically because of her posture, they were like, oh, she's going to the finals.
That wasn't the theory. Bro. If you looked at what they were wearing on, it looks like what they wear for the graphics to put up inside. They were wearing the full body shit, the bodysuits.
Let me send me the tweet again if you can find it.
I'll find it in a second. Hold on. But yeah, what are they gonna fucking do? Are they gonna do who's in the semis on the SmackDown side?
It's going to be Jade versus Nia Jax and Bianca versus Tiffany, which is very interesting. I think Jade wins.
I'm gonna be seated for that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think Jade beats Nia. I think that Tiffany beats Bianca because Bianca tweaked her knee last week. My question is, how is Jade Cargill going to lose clean? Because how do they do that? So I'm very curious how they pull that off. But I'm
lose.
What's up?
She can lose.
If she loses, well, I mean, it's like her persona that she's so dominant. So if Tiffany
the thing is, we've already seen the undefeated streak thing. We've already seen that.
I'll tell you what, if Tiffany Stratton beats Jade, she kind of has to win the whole tournament, to be honest with you.
Yes.
But I want Io to win the tournament. This is
fuck.
I'll tell you what, for Io.
This is good though. This is good.
I'm gonna be like a broken record. Like if Io doesn't end up being the queen of the ring, I'm still gonna be acting like she did.
It's the thing though. This is how we should feel about wrestling, where we're looking at these possibilities, right? And like every match has stakes, and it's people that probably shouldn't take losses, but with wrestling, sometimes something has to give. And if there's nothing to give, then why do we care? You know what I mean? If all the results are predictable, why do we give a shit? But also, in here, like, what's up?
We've seen this happen a lot. Actually, an oversaturation of it. We had it with Bianca, of her being completely undefeated. We saw it with Gunther being undefeated. And after a while, you kind of see the shift. And at some point, it's like, okay, we're over it. We're just waiting for them to lose. And it kind of ruins the mystique, kind of like, it kind of, if anything, does the complete opposite effects to their momentum. So I think for Jade, like, she can lose. Like, they can still present her as dominant. And I mean, Tiffany in her own right is extremely dominant. The women's roster on SmackDown is insane, actually. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people can get in Jade's face and beat her clean, or maybe not clean. I don't fucking know. And it would still be believable. It would still be valid.
I just want to see how it's going to be portrayed. You know what I mean? Because I find it hard to believe that it'll be a straight up loss. So
I don't know, because it's like, how can you present every single person as dominant and every single person as unbeatable? Because in my opinion, Tiffany can have that same story too. Like, she can also come across like she's completely unbeatable, completely dominant.
Yes, but with respect to Jade, I think she needs that veneer of on herself more than Tiffany, in the sense that Tiffany can lose a couple matches and it means nothing to her. With Jade, and again, with respect to her, that's like, I'm not saying that's all she has, but that's like kind of part of like her appeal. Whereas Tiffany Stratton, like, it's the personality, it's the fact that she's so beyond her years, ability wise in the ring. She and again, like, she could lose 2 matches and come out and cut a promo and have a great performance, and she's still Tiffany Stratton. Jade Cargill.
But
what's up?
But that, I feel, is also going to cause issues with Jade not being like 100% full package as a wrestler. I'm not here to like shit on her abilities,
right?
But it's like, if she's not fully where she's supposed to be, right?
Okay.
But she's overtly dominant. At some point, like, she's going to be in matches that's going to, for lack of a better word, expose her. So it's just going to end up, in my opinion, like, making her look maybe not bad, but like kind of, I can just see it not going over in the long term. the way you think it should. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a fair point. Look, I'm not. Sometimes doing the whole just undefeated, unstoppable thing can be a booking crutch, and it is more interesting sometimes when like the playing field is pretty level. And like you said, this women's division on SmackDown is full of top tiers where anybody can get got and on any night.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching SmackDown. I will watch very intently. These matchups are very interesting. All I know is that I feel like the final is Io versus Tiffany. How we get there is going to be interesting to monitor. Thank you, Kale, for the super chat.
Alrighty, Kale. Thank you. Sprouts, 199. Welcome to the W Yeet era. Come on.
I hate this era. Fuck you, AO. Thank you, Sprouts. Thank you for the super chat. Again, guys, keep them rolling. This is our last chance to get the super chats in.
Yeah. Black Yakuzu, $2.94, $2. Y'all don't get that. Yeet is a draw, not grabs.
We'll see. We'll see.
I can't even like defeat this because I'm a ratings merchant. Like I'm a
Bro,
this rating matters merchant. So I can't. There's like history of me doing this on my account. So I can't.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
Oh,
go fuck you.
Let's talk about how CM Punk couldn't even draw 2 million last week.
No, let's not.
Berkey 190. Oh, Berkey 199. Luca missing that free throw, and Jay winning ruined my week. Yeah. Fucking Luka Doncic, bro. Just yo, SGA and them have to be stopped. Yo, the foul baiting is ridiculous.
Half of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander fans only like him because they think he's handsome.
Bro,
anyways, guys, this is your last opportunity. I'll give you a minute. Do we have any more super chats, Rob?
No.
All right. So, quick preview of SmackDown, folks. This week, SmackDown, they're doing a contract signing with Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. They are doing second round matches for the King of the Ring. It'll be Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. It'll be Tama Tonga versus LA Knight. Yeah. It'll be Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. And lastly, Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair. So that is your SmackDown lineup for King of the Ring semifinal matchups and a contract signing. We shall see what direction they go in with these matchups. And next week, guys, yes, 90% of SGA fans want to fuck that ticket, bro. Dude, they'll post him and say Aura. There's no, it won't even be a video of him doing a move. WWE. Fuck that. Listen, folks, when we come back to you next week, we will have learned who the King of the Ring finalist is on the Raw side. Will it be Jey? Will it be Gunther? We find out next Monday, and we'll talk about it Tuesday. So, for Isra, who I really appreciate for joining us for the third week in a row, for Rob, I'm Ibu of Wrestle Pierce. This is the Raw Review. Prayers up.
Free Palestine.
And we will absolutely, and we will see you next week.